Sure, there are lots of alternate Marvel universes where things get weird, or that exist simply as an alternative Marvel paradise. But some were just invented to haunt your nightmares. Join me as we visit some of these spooky alternate Earths as we count down the top 10 scariest alternate Marvel universes. Part 2. Number 10. Earth 64211. This reality is quite dark and quite scary, especially for Black Bolt. Here, Maximus, Black Bolt's brother, devised a plan to steal the throne of Attilan and of the Inhumans by disguising himself as his brother. When this plan appeared to be destined to fail due to memory detectors installed around the palace in preparation, he made the Inhuman Telegar make it so that he not only looked identical to Black Bolt, but also had his distinct superpowered vocal cords and his memories as well, erasing Maximus's. Still, Maximus was not trained to hold back his voice, and the pain of the procedure caused him to cry out, exposing his treachery and causing him to be banished from Attilan to Taros. However, Maximus gave himself Black Bolt's memories, and therefore he didn't actually remember his role in this plot, leaving him to ponder upon this revelation if he was indeed Maximus turned into Black Bolt, or simply Black Bolt and Maximus had actually succeeded in usurping him. He couldn't remember who he was anymore. Number 9. That time Thanos helped an old lady cross the street. This alternate reality seems to be unnumbered, but exists based off the story that Cosmic Ghost Rider tells us in the Thanos 2016 annual. Connor diving into Thanos wins on the part 1 of this list made me remember how much I love that comic, but especially the annual, which features multiple stories which are all, or at least appear to be, set in alternate worlds. In one such story, Thanos helps a little old lady cross the street, seemingly at first out of the kindness of his heart. I know, shocking, right? Well, of course it turns out that even this act is quite sinister, and that Thanos really did it only to delay a bus from stopping, thereby preventing Stephanie Kircher from bumping into and meeting Suzanne. This meeting would set Stephanie on a path which would turn her into Earth's savior, allowing her to end world hunger, cure disease, and dismantle inequality. Thanos even visits Stephanie on her deathbed to give her a vision of what could have been of the life she missed out on because he delayed her bus, stopping by a few moments, preventing her from bumping into Suzanne. Pretty evil stuff, right? And friends, before we move on to this next spot, if you are loving this list and you want to learn about even more scary alternate Earths from Marvel, there are tons of those, so be sure to let us know by giving this video a thumbs up. Number 8. Earth 51412. One of the freakiest realities that I could think of visiting would be the one that belongs to Patton Parnell. Patton Parnell is probably one of the most disturbing Spider-Man alternates around, who literally turned into a sadistic man-spider-like monster when he got his powers. Well, he was actually probably always sadistic and sociopathic to some extent, but getting spider-like powers, which also turned him into a humanoid spider-like creature, probably didn't help the guy. Number 7. Earth 11080. Also known as the Last Gun on Earth reality. Here, Punisher once more faces off against the Marvel Universe. But instead of it just being a comic book trope this time around, Frank is actually not just out for vengeance, but seeks to save the world by facing off against many famous Marvel heroes and villains. This is because on this alternate Earth a virus was released that caused those infected to become violent and cannibalistic. Here Spider-Man ends up patient zero after devouring the villain Rhino live on national television. And well, I think you can imagine how dark it gets from there. It just gets darker and darker and darker. You're like, wow, it's like pitch black in this universe. I cannot see. Someone turn on a light in here. Number 6. Earth 18138. Another scary alternate reality tied to Thanos, as some are known to be. I mean, Thanos is a pretty scary dude. Actually came about because a hero was trying to redeem the villain and raise Thanos instead to be a hero. The hero who attempted this, however, wasn't really great at doing so, and instead made the future worse as a result. This hero was Frank Castle alternate Cosmic Ghost Rider. The thing with Cosmic Ghost Rider is that he only became Ghost Rider as a final gambit to try and save the universe. This was after Frank was killed when Thanos attacked the Earth. By the time Frank had made his deal to become a spirit of vengeance and returned as Ghost Rider, it was pretty much too late. He spent an eternity alone and was driven pretty crazy by the solitude. He went on to get the power Cosmic, became a Herald of Galactus, and when he still failed to stop Thanos, joined him instead. After that history was wiped from existence in which Thanos won, Cosmic Ghost Rider ended up in Valhalla for a while before realizing he wasn't really happy there, it wasn't really his thing, and being permitted by Odin to leave in order to travel back in time and try and kill Thanos to prevent a future like the one he was from ever becoming possible. Cosmic Ghost Rider couldn't bring himself to kill the then innocent baby Thanos though, and instead went on adventures with him, trying to teach him to be good. But it turns out Frank Castle wasn't necessarily an expert on the subject of heroism and goodness himself. This version of Thanos grows up instead to become a dictator, removing freedom of choice from those he rules, making them be good and banishing those who refuse to submit and obey him. That's like too much goodness. You shouldn't be trying to make people be good. Just kind of let them do their own thing, otherwise then you're kind of evil, kind of defeats the whole point. Thanos. Number 5. What If Ultron Won? While the What If comic book series sometimes takes us to weird and hilarious alternate realities, this time around the Disney Plus and Marvel animated series took us to one of the most depressing realities yet. In episode 8 of the series, we get to see into a reality where Ultron won the day. In fact, he won all of the days to come. Black Widow and Hawkeye are the only remaining survivors, it seems, who are attempting to fight back against Ultron and stop him, once and for all, at any cost. However, in the end, Ultron finds a way to break free of his fate at being defeated, using his own power and the Infinity Stones to escape his own reality and threaten the existence of all lives across the multiverse. Is there anything scarier than this? I don't think so. Number 4. Life 9 of Moira X. During the relaunch of the X-Men books, the mutants were given a refresh when it came to their history and when it came to making sense of seemingly all the almost separate lives that they've kind of lived, all the different eras of X-Men. Moira McTaggart was revealed to be a mutant codenamed Moira X, whose power was reincarnation, with her dying and being reborn from her mother's womb once more, but with the knowledge of all the previous lives she had lived prior to that one. Moira's 9th life, the timeline that precedes 616 from her perspective, saw Moira join with Apocalypse in order to try to find a way to protect the mutants against the inevitable, man who create machines, Sentinels, to destroy them, and in so doing often end up destroying humanity as well. Despite uniting with the powerful mutant Apocalypse in this reality, technology once more ended up being the end of both humanity and mutant kind, with this reality's destruction being linked back to the existence of Nimrod. In order to prevent this dystopian and apocalyptic reality from coming to pass, Moira ends up getting information on how Nimrod was created and allows herself to be killed and reborn with said information so that she might be able to prevent Nimrod from coming online in her next life. And, you know, make the next reality not so awful in the end. Of course, Nimrod has come online, so I'm pretty sure we're all doomed. But anyways. Number 3. Earth 21129. Yikes! Is this one scary? Also coming to us from another glimpse into the Darkhold during the Darkhold event. In this reality, we see a darker potential future for Tony Stark, as he works to create his Iron Man suit. In Darkhold Iron Man, Stark creates the suit with the help of his own team of employees and friends, only to discover that removing it also removes his skin with said pieces of armor. Forced to stay within the suit for his own safety, Tony Stark, with help from Pepper Potts, worked tirelessly to find a way to fix this small but very disturbing glitch. In the end, Stark ends up believing that the suit is superior and, as like with the Cybermen of Doctor Who, believes that everyone on Earth should merge with the suit, giving up their more squishy human form in favor of the armor, which is better at protecting them, despite the fact that the suits kinda slowly break down your biological form and fully merge with those who wear them. Disturbing, I know. And then in the end they're like, everyone gets an Iron Man suit. Don't worry, just get in the Iron Man suit. Nothing bad will happen. Number 2. Zombieverse. I wish I could do a list like this without talking about the Marvel Zombieverse, sometimes referred to as Earth Z, but I don't think I can. Also, Connor did his best to stay away from Marvel Zombies on part 1, which means it kind of falls to me to talk about it, because I don't think we can really do a Scariest Alternate Marvel Universes series without at least mentioning Marvel Zombies. And then of course the thing with that is, if we mention it, the trauma that I have experienced personally from reading the series set in this universe means that I have to boost it up on our list. Yeah, Marvel Zombies has left emotional scars on me, okay? It's stuck with me. Every time I come back to it, I'm like reliving the horror again. Mainly, what still haunts me to this day is the time that zombie Ant-Man captured human Black Panther and kept him alive so that he could saw off pieces of T'Challa to feed on, keeping his former friend as his own little secret snack. Very, very disturbing. I'm sure that'll never come up again, I hope. Number 1. What If? Zombies. This other alternate zombie reality comes to us from the Marvel and Disney Plus animated show, What If? In this series, we get glimpses into alternate Marvel cinematic realities via the Watcher, who pretty much sees all. Each episode features a standalone story, but these episodes also come together in the end of this first season, as the threads from each story kind of end up connecting when the Watcher creates the Guardians of the Multiverse team to help to defend the various realities against Ultron, who we talked about earlier on. The reason that I put this zombie universe above the comic book one is because despite the small shimmer of hope we get in this episode and in this reality, a lot of heroes still die, and in some cases quite gruesomely. And we know it's not over yet because we're getting a whole Marvel Zombies animated series. Oh boy, I can't wait. Good news is that writer Zeb Wells appears to be the mastermind behind that show, and I love Zeb Wells' writing, so I'm sure I will actually enjoy it. But the bad news is we still got Black Panther sliced up, but this time to defeat a crazy powerful zombified version of Scarlet Witch. Double yikes. Double trauma for Amanda. Why? I was like, they're probably not gonna do that in this episode, and then they did it, and I was like, why? Why did we do this? I can't, I really don't like that part. I don't like it. Oh well, it's over now. Black Panther got away. It's fine. He's fine. Nothing bad will happen, I'm sure, and the world will be saved by our heroes. I'm sure. What are some of your favorite alternate Earths in the Marvel Multiverse? Which do you think are the most scary? Which alternate worlds from this list and from our part 1 would you most be interested to learn more about? Let us know in the comments below. This has been Top 10 Nerdin'. I'm your host Amanda McKnight. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, you stay nerdy, YouTube.